real speakers, real coaches, real investors, real companies. No matter your destiny, all roads lead to Real Leaders Unite.
Mike, thank you so much. Okay, appreciate that. It's a pleasure to be here. It's my first time. Any first timers in here? Okay, wow, okay. I see Linda Clemens in here, my friend. How you? Nice to see you. And Chris, back here, great job yesterday. And glad that he's leaving, going back to Cambridge. No, they didn't put that in there. So we have the subject of real leaders in this magazine, which is a phenomenal opportunity because it's taken me a long time to realize how important leadership is. It's very, very important, as you can tell, from all of the things that's happening in our world right now. I think the number one issue now is leadership. I would say that's pretty much across the board. I don't know if it's going to get any better because it's really hard to lead today. Very difficult because of all of the disruptions, social media. Hard to build a brand today for the most part. Hard to stay sustainable. There's so many disruptive issues, climate change, economic issues, social issues, racial issues, all these issues we have to deal with, educational issues. So it's really hard to build a consistent program for yourself. Most people will never do it anyway. When we talk about real leadership, when I think of real leadership, real leaders, I think of being able to take information, education, make it relevant to your heart, to your soul, transfer it to your mind, and then transfer that to the American free enterprise system and the global marketplace to create and design your own future. That's a mouthful, right? When I think of real leaders, I think of maximizing your potential as a human being. When I think of real leaders, I think of one important question, which if you're lucky to be asked this question in life, you're pretty fortunate. And that question is, do you know who you are? And I teach identity leadership, which is really defined as self-leadership based on the philosophy that you can't lead anybody else until you first lead yourself. And I don't even know how you do it today. When you talk about maximizing your potential as a human being, I don't know how you do that today. I actually don't know how you become a real leader today. I think for the most part, everybody's faking. And it's hard not to fake because you're not empowered as a human being. And everybody's looking for that power. Where's the power? And in the end, it really is about the power versus the powerless. Irregardless of all the labels and all the things that you hear, people are looking for, it's either you have the power or you don't have it. And you can't get it based on the way it's set up. You can't be empowered based on the way it's set up. Most people will never understand who they are because I talk about this all the time. They wake up in the morning, they wash their face, they brush their teeth, they get something to eat, they get the kids off to school, work all day, come home in the afternoon, they spend time with the family, they watch TV, they go to bed, maybe they dream that's Monday. Then on Tuesday, most people will never be empowered because on Tuesday, they wake up in the morning, they wash their face, they brush their teeth, they get something to eat, they get the kids off to school, work all day, come home in the afternoon, they spend time with the family, they watch TV, they go to bed, maybe they dream that's Tuesday. And then in England and South Africa and China, on Wednesday, 99.99% of the people in the world who are followers, on Wednesday, they get up in the morning, they wash their face, they brush their teeth, they get something to eat, they get the kids off to school, work all day, come home in the afternoon, they spend time with the family, they watch TV, they go to bed, maybe they dream that's Wednesday. And then what do they do on Thursday? This is interactive, okay? On Thursday, they do what? Same thing. On Friday, they do what? Go to happy hour, maybe. Saturday, they do what? They wash, they clean up, they get the kids off the activities, they go to sporting activities. Saturday night, they go out. Sunday, a lot of people go to church to eat chicken dinners in the afternoon. And they get ready for work on Monday. And they work and work and work and work and work and work and work. And they look back after about 30 years. They said, you know what? I've been working so long, I have no more in the end than I had in the beginning. I was broke when I started. I'm still broke. And that represents about how many people in the world, ladies and gentlemen? There's 8 billion people in the world. That represents about how many people? 99.99.99% of the people who are what? Who are going nowhere. If you did the same thing you did yesterday, as you did today, as you will do tomorrow, what have you done? The answer is nothing. So it represents about 99% of the people who never turn the brain on. Don't write anything down. Don't organize anything. Don't develop anything. Don't really build anything, right? Just kind of going through the motions, struggling every single day to trying to figure out, how do I do it? How do I empower myself? How do I take care of myself? How do I take care of myself and my family? How do I create social economic development in my own life? Almost impossible to do. And you go to school. They go to school, and what the school teaches you how to memorize and take tests, repeat the information back. You get labeled with a grade. 2 weeks later, if I ask the student what they learned, what would they say? Nothing. So if you're doing the same thing over and over, which is nothing, everything you learn, you forget is nothing. Nothing from nothing is nothing. So the most important question, and if you don't know who you are, what happens? Most important question anyone will ever ask you is, do you know who you are? And when you don't know who you are, what happens? What happens when you don't know who you are?
You become nobody?
Well, okay. When you don't know who you are, what happens? Jason?
I stay lost.
Pretty much lost. You are lost. And 99.99% of the people in the world are pretty much not going anywhere. Can't. Will never be able to maximize their potential. And the world says, you know what? Jason, the world says to them, you're lost. Woe is you. Woe is you. You're lost. You're not going anywhere. You're not thinking, designing, creating. You're not developing. You're not leveraging. You're not building. What are you doing? Just trying to make it the best way you can every single day. And the world says, okay, I'm going to box you up. I'm going to put you in a box. And then the world says, you don't know who you are, so I'm going to define you by the color of your skin. I'm going to put you in the race box. And what's the race box do? What's the race box say? Race box says what? You're stuck. You're not good enough because of the color of your skin, which will never change. And you're marginalized because of the color of your skin all around the world. And I grew up in a race box. You know, I'm part African American, part Native American. And I'm in this small town, and I had a race-based consciousness. And what happens when you have a race-based consciousness? You're always focused on race to define your existence as a human being. And it took me a long time. I was traveling around the world with this guy named Bob Brown. We were traveling around the world, and I was seeing people of color all over the world making things happen. I realized, oh, you're in this all-black town surrounded by a white county where they said nothing ever good comes out of Whitesboro, and you're defined by the color of your skin. And I realized, oh, you're wrong. It's not about your color. The problem is you don't know who you are. And when you don't know, excuse me, when you don't know who you are, the world defines you by your house and your car, your money, and your title and your job. And when you don't know who you are, sometimes you're defined by your family. And I grew up with 2 special need brothers in my family, which was a very difficult thing to deal with. And when you grow up with 2 special need brothers, boy, that's a hard thing to do. You're a caretaker most of your life. And I grew up with a lot of low self-esteem and a lack of confidence in myself. And y'all don't know this, but Mike didn't say this, but I worked in the prison system for 5 years. I didn't say I was in the prison system 5 years. I said I worked in the prison system 5 years, but there's no question I would have been in prison that system except for one thing, and that is I played basketball. And what did basketball do for me? Kind of gave me enough self-esteem not to destroy myself. And I'm in this small town, Whitesboro, New Jersey. Linda's been there before. In this small town, all-black town surrounded by White County. And I never will forget this story. We have one store in our town. That's a small town. And the guy that owned the store, never will forget his name. His name was Mr. T.A. And we used to always hang out at Mr. T.A.'s. We're going to hang out at Mr. T.A.'s. We're going down there every Saturday morning. We're down there with my buddies shooting pinball and shooting pool. And I'm down there one Saturday. I'm a pretty good ball player, if you let me tell it. Basketball player, if you let me tell it. And I know I'm going to go to college, getting all these scholarship offers from all around the country. And so I'm bragging to everybody, you know, I'm going to college, I'm going to college. And so I'm down there one Saturday. He's behind the counter, and I walk up to Mr. T.A. and I said, Mr. T.A., guess what? And I'm so happy. I'm going to college. And I'm thinking Mr. T.A. is going to say, what? We are so proud of you. You're going to college. You got out of this town. Congratulations. Mr. T.A. looks at me, and I look at him, and I never will forget that look. And he says to me, he says, you're not going to no college. Your family's too stupid, and you're too dumb. And you know, I've been teased all of my life. I had to get, you know, fights every single day in school, bullied and all of that, teased about my family and my brothers. And I used to have to fight every single day. And I'm thinking Mr. T.A. is going to say, great, you got out of this town. He says to me, you're not going to no college. Your family's too stupid, and you're too dumb. And I was sad for a long time. And I remember walking down the street one day, and I stopped in my tracks, and I got mad. And I said to myself, I'm going to fix you, Mr. T.A. I'm going to college. And I'm going to get my degree. And I'm going to bring it back to you. And I'm going to show you that I'm somebody. Well, I finally went to college. That was a great day. I remember going to college, playing basketball on the basketball scholarship, coming home late at night, 11 o'clock at night. We have our clothes on our backs. We didn't have any suitcases in a bag. Throw our bag down, 11 o'clock at night. Everybody would go to bed. They're tired. I wouldn't go to bed. I'd stay up all night long studying for that test. I didn't care about basketball. Only thing I cared about is I had to get that degree and bring it back and show Mr. T.A. Mr. T.A., I'm somebody. Finally got that degree. Boy, that was a great day. I don't know if I learned anything, but I got that degree. And then after I got that degree, I said, you know what, I'm not finished with you yet, Mr. T.A. I'm going to go get my master's degree. Went and got my master's degree, served in the U.S. Army, played ball in Europe, worked in the prison system, not in that particular order. And when you don't know who you are, the world defines you sometimes by your relationship. And I met a woman in Chicago named Miss Oprah, might have heard of her. She has a little talk show host. She's a little talk show host for 25 years, number one. You know, owns a lot of stuff, magazine, network, all of that. And I'm in a relationship with a very powerful woman. And every time I step out the door, people define me as Oprah's man. And so you kind of understand where I'm going. I'm defined by my brothers, defined by race. But now I'm publicly defined by my relationship with one of the most powerful women in the world. And what happens is you lose your identity, and you don't know who you are. And that's my struggle, and that's my story. That's what I do. I teach people how to find out who they are. And I write books about it. I have courses. I'm K through 12. I'm in the school district, in the school systems, and I'm in corporate America. So I teach people how to maximize their potential as a human being. Wow. That's a beautiful thing. And I've dedicated my life to doing that. And the first step, I created a 9-step success process, which I'm going to go through pretty quickly here. And the first step is called check your ID. You got to have an identity. And it's based on the most powerful word in the world. Now, if you get this word, you're not going to be average. There's kind of 3 levels. There's kind of a lower level, 101 level, I call it, where, you know, you're homeless, you got problems, you're never going to make it, you're predictable, you know, your life is in shambles. That's a 101. You know, that represents a lot of folks. 102 level is what? Get up in the morning, wash your face, brush your teeth, get something to eat. That's kind of average, mediocre, okay? And the 3rd level is the level we're talking about. That's the exceptional level. That's where you learn how to take information and make it relevant to your talents, to your skills, and to your ability. You become a thinking human being. It means you can begin to organize resources around you. You get to empower yourself and work on yourself every single day. You get to grow, you know, your whole life for the most part. And so the most important word in the world that you have to be able to do that. And what's going to get you closer to freedom in anything that you know, this is what I learned in all of this. I said if you turn your power over to have somebody else to define you, they will always define you as less than. The second thing I learned is that if you're looking for freedom, you'll never find it on the outside. Freedom is only on the inside. And it's not how the world defines you. The most important thing is how you define yourself. So that eliminates all the labels. You know, we don't want to be labeled by a race or labeled by your privilege or labeled by women are often told they can't make it because it's a man's world. No, you can't make it because you don't know who you are. And so the most important word that will carry you in life is what, you think? Most powerful word in the world is what? My table right here. Most powerful word in the world is what? Those are good words, but that's not it. Most powerful word in the world is? I am, okay. Most powerful word in the world is? Keep going. Most powerful word in the world right here is love. Who said that? Love. Most powerful word in the world, round of applause right here, deserves a round of applause. Most powerful word in the world is love. Why, Marty?
Love is everything.
That's all you have to say, Marty. Love is what? Everything. So the challenge is what in life? Is to try to get back to the core of love in everything you do all day long. Everyone is equal because everybody has 24 hours. What's the question? How organized are you around love? Organization and order is the highest level of development. It's the first thing you should do in the morning, start organizing. Organizing your life around what? Your passion, your talents, your skills, your abilities. And so if you want to achieve success, and success is very difficult. Failure is easy, mediocrity is easy, but you want to be successful. Man, what you want to do is you want to take love and you want to write down everything you love in your life on a sheet of paper. It's that simple. You want your children to be successful? Have them write down everything you love, they love in their life. And then organize information around it. You couldn't have a better opportunity than to live today because we have what? We have access to what? Right here. This is a powerful tool. And what I learned with this tool is to write down everything I love so I can self-actualize my own potential, my talents, my skills, my passion, my purpose, what is meaningful in my life. And then what I do is apply information to everything I love to grow my life so I can be a better person today than I was yesterday. Now, the school system teaches the opposite for the most part. And then you go to college, you get a degree, you pay all that money, you come out with a degree, and you don't even know what you should be doing in your life. You've wasted what? You waste about 20, 22, 23 years searching for what? everything on the outside. Not on the outside, ladies and gentlemen. This is an inside job. Second step, man, I'm motivated every single day. I can't wait to get up. I'm focused on what I can do as opposed to what I can't do. I'm looking at the glass half full as opposed to half empty, and I have to retrain myself because the foundation of my existence is what? Not positive, it's what? Negative, because of my experience. So every time I have a negative thought, what do I have to do? I have to transform it from negative to positive to be successful. Not an easy thing to do. So sometimes you've been told you're nothing, never going to be anything. You've been programmed all your life, it's in your subconscious. So to be able to move out of your subconscious into what? A positive frame of mind based on your potential as a human being. Everybody here has it. So that's the beautiful thing about the conference here. Everybody here is highly intelligent, highly successful, motivated. You have the drive. Actually, you have the whole world. You got the global market. And so when we say to the world, I'm going to stop working for you and I'm going to start having you work for me. And you organize all the resources, all the opportunities, all the networks around all your passions, everything that you love in your life. You can't help to be successful, and you'll outdistance 99% of the people who are doing what? Nothing. You have no competition. And you can eliminate all the labels and focus on performance, focus on what you can do as opposed to what you can do, and maximize your potential every single day in the 24 hours that you have, which is what makes everybody equal. Everybody has 24 hours. The question is, what are you doing with your time? Second step, man, I'm motivated every single day. I can't wait to get up. Boy, I don't even have enough years. And if you get this at 10, which is why I'm in the schools, if you get this at 10, you got 90 years, 80 years to develop a process of continuous improvement where you're better today than you were yesterday because you're growing and growing and growing and growing. Second step, you got to have a vision. What's a vision? Why is vision so important? Not about where you are, it's about what? Where you're going to be in 10 years. You know, what's your legacy going to look like? You know, we all have access to organizations which are so fantastic. You have an organization that works for you, that can create a vision bigger than your circumstances. What? You know, most people don't have a vision. Poverty is about what? Going backwards. Vision is about organizing the whole structure. What's the whole structure today? It's the global marketplace today. Using technology as a way to do what? Access anything you want based on the way that you think. And your money is always predicated on what? Ladies and gentlemen, how big your vision is. Small vision, small money, small opportunity. So we need the structure, what? Take you as the leader, and you're the driver to drive what? That vision, build as big a vision as you possibly can. That's why they say go big or go home. Because you can organize the whole world around you and then organize every locale around that vision and create whatever distribution you want in the marketplace. You know, you don't have to have any money, but you better have a what? Better have a vision. Third step, man, I'm motivated every single day. I can't wait to get up. I get to organize my life around myself. I get to organize information, education, make it relevant to my development. I get to focus on my talents, my skills, my purpose, and my passion. I'm really happy. And then I get to own the whole world. The third step, you got to have a plan. Vision without a plan means what? Nothing. You got to write it down. You're not that good. You got 50,000 thoughts going through your mind every single day. Write it down. Organize it. Organization is the highest level of development. So to take those dreams, there's an English poet that talked about dreams. He says, all people dream, but not equally. Those who dream in the dusty recesses of their mind, they wake in the morning to find that it was a vanity. But the dreamers of the day are what? Are dangerous people. For their dream, they dream their dreams and they make them come true. So you got to be able, the third step is you got to have a plan to make those dreams come true. You got to be able to execute. Fourth step, master the rules of the road. What are they? That's your value system. You got to have a value system. Your value system is predicated on what? You know, who you want to become. What does that look like? What kind of character do you have to have based on who you want to be? Value systems are what? What are some of the value systems we need as a leader, as an entrepreneur, as a business person? Trust, how big is that one? Everything. Perseverance, determination, integrity. All of those value systems, what? You know, that will carry you and sustain you over a long period of time. It's not about the short term, it's about what? Short term is fine, but it's about the long term. What's your vision for who you want to become, and what does that look like? How do you structure that around yourself and around your values? Fifth step, step into the outer limits, overcoming your fears. What are your barriers to success? What holds you back? And today, it's tough becoming an entrepreneur and a leader today because there's so many disruptions, so many barriers, social media, so many things you have to deal with. And so you're constantly always coming back to that core base. So you're overcoming your fears. What keeps you from achieving success? You know, what's in your subconscious? You got the consciousness and the subconscious. What were you taught in that household for 18, 19 years? You know, you bring the good stuff forward, you leave the bad stuff behind. So how are you programmed? What's your program? So we are working every single day to break that subconscious program that we got for so many years, you know. So it's a major thing to be able to work on that and try to change that. So you change your habits and you change your paradigm. So you don't go back to the old way of thinking. And that storyboard keeps going around in your head over and over and over. Step 6, pilot the seasons of change. How many changes are we going through from the time we wake up to the time we go to bed, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, just coming out here with the rain. I mean, I had to come through that rain from Santa Barbara to San Diego. I mean, it's poured. All those changes you have to go through. From the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, climate changes, economic changes, social changes, changes with your family. You know, what is your internal capacity to deal with change? How strong are you? How strong are you? Excuse me. Law of the jungle says what? Only the strong survive. Nobody cares about your weakness. And so your ability to be able to what? Focus on yourself every single day so you can be strong as you possibly can. And then again, have the learning system change where everything is relevant to your learning and to your development. That's the big shift. Step 7, build your dream team. Got to have a team. No one makes it alone. No man or woman is an island unto themselves. You cannot make it by yourself. You need a team. And your team is predicated on what, ladies and gentlemen? How strong or weak you are as a person. Strong person attracts a strong team. Weak person attracts a weak team. And so your team is predicated on what? Trust. It's predicated on your vision, where you're going. It's predicated on your planning. It's predicated on how structurally set up you are, your infrastructure, all of that. So building a good team. Step 8, win by decision. One of my favorite steps. This is what changed my life, ladies and gentlemen. Learn how to take information, education, and make it relevant to me. Taking information, learning everything I can, organizing my library, organizing my book samples, we're using this technology as a way to download content that's relevant to every part of my life. So work-life balance is not long-term, short-term, it's long-term. So to be able to have clarity around who I am, where I'm going, and how I'm going to get there allows me to source the content that's relevant to my personal and professional development. Learning how to learn changed my life because I get a chance to grow and improve every single day because I read. I'm a reader and a learner, and I'm not just going through the motions. And I'm not wasting my time just doing, you know, the mundane things that maybe somebody else could do. Step 9, last step, commit to your vision. So when you walk out the door, what's going to happen? You're going to be around 99% of the people in the world who are doing what? Nothing. They're going to try to do what? Drag you down. Talk about you, in some cases hate you, maybe even your family. What are you doing? What are you doing thinking? You better get back in that box. And so transformation is always about what? It's not transactional, it's transforming your own personal and professional potential as a human being. And it's hard to do that because, again, leadership is, that's a gift. For you to do what you're doing and to have an organization that you work with and to be a part of this conference, this is a gift. Because you're with what? Other leaders, people who are drivers, developers, and creators of their own potential. And leadership is really something special. I have some people I admire, of course, you know, Gandhi and Mandela, and I spent a lot of time in South Africa, Dr. King, and we're all trying to be the best we could possibly be. And I want to just end with this. You know, Dr. King, I never will forget, he talked about becoming the best he could be. He said, even if it falls your lot to be a street sweeper, sweep streets like Michelangelo painted pictures. Sweep streets like Handel and Beethoven composed music. Sweep streets like Shakespeare wrote poetry. Sweep streets so well that all the hosts of heaven and earth will have to pause and say, here lived a great street sweeper that swept her job well. If you can't be a pine on the top of a hill, be a scrub in the valley. But be the best little scrub on the side of the hill. Be a bush if you can't be a tree. If you can't be a highway, just be a trail. If you can't be the sun, be a star. It isn't by the size that you win or fail. Be the best of whatever you are.
Real speakers. Real coaches. Real investors. Real companies. No matter your destiny, all roads lead to Real Leaders Unite.